Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Annie and this is Unity Consciousness. Today we're going to be discussing the energy that will be prominent beginning today, the 1st of November, and continuing through the 7th. Happy birthday to all that have birthdays in November. That would be the Scorpios and Sagittarius in the group that fall within those within this month. The highlight of this week is going to be the new moon that takes place on Thursday in Scorpio. It is going to be as true to form. It is a very intense full moon, and one of the reasons it's very intense is its exact opposite Uranus in Taurus. So you'll notice I have not only the Pluto candle going for the sign of Scorpio, ancient ruler of Scorpio, but as well I've got my Uranus candle going because Uranus is in Taurus right now, and like I mentioned, it's going to be exact opposite in the sky at the time of the new moon. So what does that mean? That means we can expect a surprise a minute, things coming in out of seemingly nowhere. And Uranus stands for truths too. So this could be sudden truths that come to light, be it in the job front, in the home front, your personal truths that you may uncover on your own, just doing some self-excavation. Keep in mind it is Scorpio season, so we're going deep. There's no doubt about that. But it's things, truths that are exposed to give you a bit of freedom, right? Truth is never a bad thing. And the exposing of truths allow us to have some freedom in an area where we thought we had some level of clarity on, but we obviously didn't, because there's some misconception or some untruths that exist in some place. So because we have this ongoing square, we've noticed it all year long, between Saturn, which is in Aquarius, and Uranus, which is Taurus. Now we've got Scorpio getting involved in this square, and it's not exact conjunct. Those two planets, Saturn and Uranus, will be exact on the 21st of December. But why it's important here is at the time of the new moon, Scorpio and Uranus are exact at 12 degrees, and Saturn is a bit off. It's only at 7 degrees, but boy, it's close enough. And the purpose of all of that is so that we can take a look at some of the restrictions that we've faced over the course of this week relative to our freedoms and things that keep us from those freedoms. And now, because Scorpio is being brought in, it's talking about transformations, it's talking about realizations, it's talking about truths that we've realized relative to some of those constrictions to our personal freedoms that hit those other two marks or targets, and what we've done to dive deep to get after the truth. And maybe we're just starting to scratch the surface. This is Scorpio season and this is a new moon, so there's a lot going on there. But truly, this square that has taken place over the course of most of 2021, and to be honest, a portion the very end of 2020 also is asking us to dive a little deep at the time of this new moon. So let's talk a little bit about the energies. So new moon is new intention. As we've said time and time again, it's important to set a new intention at the time of the new moon that is rooted in the energies that are prominent at that time. And it's important that this new intention is very important, because not only is it a new moon, which would signify a period of time of 2 weeks to 4 weeks, but the players at hand here, Scorpio and Taurus, are our next nodal axis, which is going to flip on, I believe, the 18th, 19th of January. So this new moon is very important. This new intention is very important, because that's going to carry us through until the nodal axis shifts again. And that's in 2023. I believe it's July of 2023. So take some time and think about this new intention. So let's talk about the energy. So 3D energy relative to Scorpio has to do with that three-dimensional level, resentment, jealousy, obsessions, manipulations, very dark, just dark thoughts without purposeful transformation at the other end. Now, 5D is alignment. It is transformation. It's purposeful, deep diving for the purpose of transformation. It's all about truths, and it's all about purpose and being on point, being true to yourself. Now, in Taurus, three-dimensional energy of Taurus would be very stubborn, not willing to move regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the messages. I'm staying here, that's it. I'm not doing it, or I'm not going to shift my focus from what I'm focusing on right now, or my thought process. Very stubborn. It can be miser mentality because they're all about security. So I have it, you don't. I need to keep it because I'm not sure. I need to make sure that my security is sound. Can be very lackadaisical or lazy, sitting back and not getting after it, so to speak, and also indulgent. Those are all 3D uses of Taurus energy. 5D is stability. It is steadfastness, tried and true, knowing what works, being loyal to what works, but also if you have a task at hand, being devoted to that task at hand, not taking it very lackadaisically, but being absolutely devoted to it. So with those energies, obviously we want to stick to the five-dimensional energy. So again, five-dimensional is alignment, transformation, truth, and purpose. Stability, steadfastness, devoted, and loyal. These are all the things you want to keep in mind when we're setting that intention for the new moon, but as well, this nodal axis cycle too. So it's kind of big here. Again, that is going to happen on Thursday, but Mercury's making some moves this week too. So I want to discuss mercurial energy and how it presents at the beginning of the week, what it's going to do over the course of the week, and where it's going to end up at the end of the week. So on Monday, today, Jupiter is trine Mercury, and Jupiter is in Aquarius. This is a very harmonious aspect. So, but it speaks of our freedoms. So we want to be free, our expression of freedom, or our mind process, and how that is harmonizing with some freedom, some thoughts of freedom. Then tomorrow, there is going to be a bit of a challenge because Pluto steps in. Jupiter steps out, Pluto steps in. So Mercury is going to have a very hard aspect to Pluto. It's going to square Pluto and Capricorn. So these are... Pluto and Capricorn is the breakdown of systems that are no longer supported. And when you have Mercury and Pluto at hard angle, this is, be mindful of your words, but it can be communication that requires transformation, one end or the other. Either you're sharing some information that is going to lead to transformation, or someone may be doing that with you. Just be mindful of your words, be very compassionate and kind in that process. But remember that Mercury is just leaving not only the sign of Libra, or will be soon, but it's had an extended stay in Libra with the retrograde season that's asked us to let go of our relationship struggles. So taking everything we've learned during that Mercury retrograde season and then applying it to this week's energy, going deep, dive deep, making sure that we're aligning with those 5D principles of Scorpio and Taurus. What struggles have we let go of relative to relationships that we can use for transformational purposes tomorrow, which is Tuesday. And this is the third and final hit of that degree between Mercury in Libra and Jupiter, and also when it squares Pluto. So we've done this. This is the three of three times. We've done this in mid-September, and then right around the 1st of October. So we're learning, we're applying, and now we can kind of clear things away so that when Mercury goes into Scorpio, that transformation, any transformations relative to changes that are occurring at the time of that Uranus hit, we're going to be able to dive right into those transformations and apply them, and also articulate how we feel about that too. It's important because Scorpio's involved here and will be involved like I said, Mercury moves into Scorpio on Friday. And this is just be mindful of manipulation relative to anything that you're doing. Verbally, any communications. We want that high vibrational Scorpio, that deep dive, that transformation. Be mindful of blow-ups. Watch out as you're communicating, especially as it gets closer to Mercury stepping into Scorpio and Mars already being in Scorpio. Just be mindful of how you speak to others and be mindful of your communication. But you can still lean on a bit of that Libra balance, if you will, this week, so that we can apply the lessons learned during the Libra retrograde season. Well, Mercury was in Libra for that elongated time, so that we can step right into this new energy, transformational, and get ready for what's coming relative to processes of the mind and also with communication. So that's Mercury. On Friday, we've got Venus making some moves also this week. So on Friday, Venus moves into the sign of Capricorn, leaves Sagittarius, goes into Capricorn, and she will be in Capricorn for a very elongated stay. We're getting ready for for Venus retrograde season. Happens about every 18 months or so. And this is happening the day after the new moon. So we've got new moon, new energy. Venus is shifting out of Sagittarius, going into Capricorn. And because of the retrograde cycle, we're going to be dealing with this energy till March. So the first part of March, if you include the shadow portions of Venus retrograde. So think about this. Capricorn is the basis for something or the foundation of something. And when Venus enters Capricorn, or when Venus is doing a dance with Capricorn, it's our responsibility in relationships. Where do we hold ourselves accountable? It can be very diplomatic, because Capricorn is a very diplomatic sign, and when Venus steps in, it can be very diplomatic communications relative to love and or money. But you can count on, with Pluto also being in Capricorn, this is going to be a transformational phase of that Venus retrograde system. Venus retrograde system in the sign of Capricorn. We can expect transformations as well as both love and money. And really being asked, if what you're doing, do you really love it? Is your heart in it? Does it light a passion within you? These are all questions that need to be answered while Venus is in the sign of Capricorn, especially, like I said, with Pluto, lighten that up and asking us to get real with our relationships and also understand what our passions are, what drives us, what really is our foundation or our root of passion for love or money. So get ready for that too. But on Friday, she moves into Capricorn, and it is going to be, I believe it's the 17th or so, is when she enters shadow and begins the trek of a location in the zodiac degree that will be passed over 3 times, much like our Mercury retrograde. So be mindful of that. So then finally on Saturday, we've got Mercury in Scorpio is going to sextile Venus. We've talked about Mercury, we've talked about Venus, and this is a very harmonious aspect. So it's a great day for deep conversations relative to relationships or money, and being grateful also for those relationships, being grateful for the honesty, being grateful for all the things that you've learned during the Mercury retrograde season and all the things that we're going to take moving into the Venus retrograde season. So we've got, let's see, Mercury on the move this week. We've got Venus on the move this week. We've got a new moon in Scorpio that's exact opposite Uranus. So I think we can expect the unexpected and surprise a minute just popping up from here, there, or anywhere. And boy, oh boy, it could affect any part of your chart or any part of your life, depending on where these planets sit in your chart and what your sign is, your sun, your moon, your ascendant, where your Venus is, where your Mercury is. All that is very important this week. But we can expect, like I said, a lot of energy shifts. Surprise a minute. Be prepared to transform. Be prepared for the unexpected. Be prepared to transform and accept that transformation, however it comes into your life. It might take a minute. You might need to get outside. You might need to take a break. Have a little self-care, whether that's take a bath or draw or just step away from a situation if it gets a little intense, so that you have time to kind of digest what's happening. But I think the changes are going to come around pretty quick, so I don't know how much digesting we'll be able to do. Take the time that's necessary and then get back to the task at hand. We are also at the same time ushering in a new nodal axis. So there's a lot going on here. It's time for us to get rid of the old Gemini Sagittarius axis. We'll have the final eclipse in early December that will help us get rid of that and lose, not get rid of it, but to drop those notions and open up space so that this new moon and the new nodal axis shift can bring in all of this wonderful new energy that now aligns with our greatest good. Also, be mindful of Earth events whenever we have the planet Uranus, especially in Taurus, activated. It can create some Earth events, earthquakes and volcanoes, that sort of thing. So just be mindful of that, especially at the time of the new moon, but also for the next several weeks. We've got a lot of energy relative to Uranus as well as Taurus. Okay, so thank you very much. I appreciate your time today. I will be here all week. If you have any questions, please put comments or ask your question in the comment box, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. If you like this video, please do like it, and if you would like to share it with somebody who you feel could be helped, please do so. It's my pleasure to be here with you today. Always, always a blessing if my day has you in it. Namaste.